Availability is the first mistake that we make by giving too much of ourselves to people who oftentimes do not deserve the time that we give to them in the first place. And it's a lesson that we learn throughout life. It's something that we have to grow to understand that not everyone is worth the time that you're giving them. So, as we navigate these life cycles, we understand that there's certain people and certain energies that we don't want to be involved in. But there's also ways to go about this to discern not only who to give that energy to, but by understanding that your availability has a price attached to it. So when you're giving your time away, you're wasting time if it's not being used in a manner that is beneficial to you or beneficial to the other party. And I'm pretty sure that we all understand that. It's your boy, The Worthy One, right here, and I miss rocking out with each and every one of you. So I wanted to make sure that I started off this week the right way. And this week's theme is just, the power of availability and the power that we have in control, because by controlling that, you actually give yourself more of a self-worth. You give yourself more of a self-worth. And by understanding this is the way that we continue to enrich our life and to continue to enrich the process that we have been going through in order to attain new highs and reaching new heights by being surrounded by people who are willing and deserving of that availability. So with that being said, we're going to get into this video by Carl Jung. Another great orator, another great speaker, speaking to the power and to the psyche of the human and the capabilities that we have. So it's an honor for me to be able to bring this video to you right here on the Worthy Network. With no further ado, let's jump in.
Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have an almost supernatural control over the environment around them without saying a word? They don't shout, they don't beg, they simply withdraw, and suddenly everything changes. The energy shifts. People start to question, to chase after, to feel. Now, imagine if you did the same. If you stopped reacting immediately to everything, if you chose silence instead of the automatic response, retreat instead of explosion, what do you think would happen? That's where the point lies. When you stop being always available, emotionally, physically, psychologically, the world around you goes into crisis. Because people are used to controlling you through your reactions, through your impulses, through your predictability. But the day you choose to withdraw, the game changes. And those who thought they knew you realize.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it. Just by thinking about
Pardon me, let's get past that.
Base 44.
They know absolutely nothing about you. Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. Now think about this. When you become inaccessible, who really gets desperate? Who gets irritated? Who tries to provoke you just to elicit some emotion back? This reveals more about the other than about you. And it mainly reveals how much you are still being manipulated without realizing it. You keep giving yourself to please, to maintain peace, to not lose people who deep down were never really with you. And with every forced yes, every immediate response, every emotional reaction, you give away a piece of your energy.
Hey, now let me know how you feel about that, because as I just stated, and I just mentioned that point, I just touched on it. When you give away your time and your energy, this is valuable stuff. This is something that we need to hold on to, because we only have 24 hours in a day, and we only have a certain amount of energy, which is why we eat, which is why we store our energy to be able to use it throughout the day. So have you ever been in a battle with someone or a conversation with someone and you just feel so drained after that? Like, I call certain people like parasites, and I'm not saying that everyone is, but there's some people who relish in the fact that they could take your energy from you. So why are you letting them? Why are we letting them? And this is why this video is so important, because we have to take our power back. We don't want to let anybody do any of those things. Not at all.
What's left? Tiredness, frustration, an emptiness you can't explain, but I'll tell you why. Because you are too available for those who don't deserve even a minute of your silence. This video is not about turning your back on the world. It's about choosing yourself. It's about learning what Jung called individuation. the process of becoming whole, authentic, complete. And this process begins when you understand that silence can be stronger than 1,000 arguments. That withdrawal, when it comes from awareness and not from escape, is an act of power. So I ask you now, looking into your eyes, how long will you continue to be controlled by the emotions of others?
How long?
How long will you react like a puppet
How long?
every time someone pokes your wound? Maybe it's time to cut those strings, to withdraw, to become a mystery, because when you stop being available, everything changes. You
Let's
have been
talk
taught
about it.
to always be present, to respond quickly, to please, to say yes even when you wanted to say no. Since childhood, you have been conditioned to believe that your worth lies in how available you are to others. But here's a truth that perhaps no one has told you with this clarity. This excessive availability is not a virtue. It is a prison. And as long as you continue to think that you need to be accessible all the time, emotionally or otherwise, you will be manipulated, drained, and forgotten as soon as you are no longer useful.
Take that into
Do you know
consideration.
why? Because being always available makes you seem predictable. And everything that is predictable becomes a tool. People start to use you as an emotional emergency button. They press it when they want attention, relief, validation.
Is that you?
And then
Is
put
that
you
you?
back on the shelf.
Is that
But you
you?
don't realize this because you are trapped in an illusion that being present for everyone will make someone be present for you. But it doesn't work that way. Carl Jung spoke about the persona.
Hold on. Because you can be available to any and everybody in the world, but when it's your time, when you're going through something, when you're stressed out for the day and you just wanted to call that one person just to vent for a few minutes, or you're going through the craziest life crisis and you don't have any numbers to dial when you look in that phone, you're going through you're going through your phone list, you're going through your call history, your message history to the people that you talk to the most often, and you can't even find that one person that's available to you. Come on now. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
This mask we wear to be accepted, loved, recognized. And it is exactly this mask that keeps you overly available. You say, it's okay, when you are suffocating. You respond to messages immediately, even when you are exhausted. You explain yourself, justify yourself, defend yourself, as if you owe something to the world. But the truth is that the more you place yourself at the center of others' stage, the more you disappear from your own. Being available all the time is a subtle form of self-abandonment. It is a disguised way of seeking approval, avoiding rejection, trying to control the image others have of you. But this control comes at a price, and the price is your peace. It is your vital energy being distributed as if it were infinite, when in fact it is limited, very limited. People who want you available all the time, in fact, do not want you. They want what you provide: validation, company, distraction, emotional comfort. But when you change, when you set a boundary, when you refuse to react, those same people get irritated, accuse you, say you are weird. It's not because you changed, it's because you stopped being functional for them. And here's the cruelest point. The more available you are, the less value others give you. Because what is too abundant becomes emotional rag. No one respects what they don't have to earn. No one values what is always there. So
Gotta
now,
work.
stop and think. Who truly deserves your time? Who deserves your attention, your presence, your listening? Or better yet, who deserves your absence? But before answering that, we need to understand one essential thing. Why do we react so much? Why do we give in so easily? What is behind this almost automatic desire to respond, justify, and please? The answer lies in what Carl Jung called psychic energy. And that is what we will talk about in the next part. Because your energy is all you have. And if you don't learn to protect it, someone will use it against you. If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support.
The Worthy Network.
Carl Jung did not see the human psyche as an automatic machine that reacts to stimuli without consequences. For him, our mind is like an energy system, and every thought, emotion, and action consumes a part of that energy. The question is, are you choosing where your energy goes, or are you letting the world decide for you? Every time you react impulsively, you are wasting psychic energy. When you defend yourself against a criticism that didn't even deserve attention, when you respond to a provocation just to prove you are right, when you engage in useless discussions, when you try to please those who do not value you, you are spending your inner strength on what does not nourish you.
When you try to identify with other people who are not worth your time and energy, then you get just that. You get a waste of time and a waste of energy. And why do you? Because they was never worth the time or the energy in the first place. Come on, man. Let's get back into it, man. Let me get into it. So I wanted to bring you that quick excerpt, from a page that was talking about Carl Jung. And the reason being is because, I've been going through some things in life and dealing with, me feeling like I have to be available and present, for people, places, and things. And it's not always given back in return. And we don't live in a world where everything has to be tit for tat. But most things in life are reciprocal. And unfortunately, most people base things upon the last thing that you did for them. So I understand why most people feel like they need to be available is because they want somebody to be available for them in their time of need as well. Makes a lot of sense. But then you have those who take, and they don't give back in any kind of rewarding way to the same person that is given to them. And that's the rabbit hole that I want to keep you from out of. That's what I want to keep you from putting yourself into. And if you are in that place, then I'm happy that you're right here with me, because you're able to at least bring it to the forefront, right? At least bring it to a place in your mind where maybe it hasn't been. So I'm glad that I brung up the topic, because as I said, it was something that was deeply bothering me, because I like to make myself available and I like to be a person who other people can rely on. And there's nothing wrong, as I stated before, with being that person. If that is your character type, continue to be that way for the people who deserve to be treated that way. You understand? For the people who deserve to be treated that way. So keeping your energy is very important. It's part and parcel to us living a healthy life and leading a healthy life. You don't want to stress. You don't want to build up stress, and you don't want to build up a tolerance for attracting the type of energy from people who continuously take, because at that time, then you're going to feel like a lick. You're going to feel like a mark, because you're going to feel like everyone that comes in your life, this is what they are constantly doing. And if you didn't understand why, now you know why. Now you understand exactly why people that come into your life are doing these things to you. So protect your peace, king. Protect your energy, queen. Don't let anybody come in and shake up anything around in your life. You are the sole proprietor of your surrounding and what goes on around you, and you can't control that. You have the ability to. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you taking time out to be with me, the worthy one, never the two. It's been a few days since I've been back here with you guys, but I promise you the videos will keep on coming and coming. I love each and every moment that I'm sitting in front of this computer screen, being able to pretty much put a mirror to myself and to be able to vent with the world around me. And I know that there are going to be people who identify with me and who identify with some of the things that I show. So that's how come I'm not hesitant about showing the different side of me, because there are many people who are going through a struggle. There are many people who are going through a lot of things, and they're not saying these things to the people around them because they don't have the network of people to even express themselves in that way. Just like me. And so right here on the Worthy Network, we're just trying to make a community of people who are enlightened, who are trying to grow mentally, spiritually, even physically, to become better and adept at this plane that we live on called Earth, this third dimension that we live in. And so it's always important to establish a framework and a foundation to be able to move up and propel yourself forward. With that being said, man, availability. Always make sure that you're making yourself less available for the people who don't deserve it, and you'll become more available to be able to access the people who do deserve your time, your respect. Take that into consideration and make sure that you live in your life with no regrets, no regrets, only going forward, and only putting a tag on yourself that's priceless. Time is money. Your availability is the same. We out.